Another day of OTAs in the books, Mary Kay, and no Corey Coleman, and that's a little concerning because it sounds like the second-year wide receiver is going to be out for a little while.
Yeah, you know what? Hugh admitted today that the spill that he took last week in OTAs was a little tougher than they thought at first, and he could be sidelined until training camp. Now, that's a little worse than it sounds because they really only have one more week of OTAs, that's 3 practices, and then they have the mandatory mini camp in mid-June, and then they disperse until the end of July, so he's got some time to rest.
And Coleman, of course, last year had the hamstring during training camp, then he broke his hand the second week of the season, and it really did slow him, so to get him out on the field would be very important, so I think it is a big loss for this team. Now, the other thing today, Brock Osweiler earned high praise from Hugh Jackson.
Yeah, he did, and you know what, the narrative on Brock has really changed here. You know, in the beginning, he was an afterthought. He was just a throw-in for them to acquire that second-round pick. Now, you know, Hugh Jackson said he's not like the things he had heard about him. You know, he had clashed with Bill O'Brien in Houston, and, you know, they just didn't hear that he was much of a team player. And you know what, he says that has not been his experience. He's liked what he's seen of Brock so far. He likes his delivery. He thinks he's tightened it up a little bit. He doesn't seem like he's the lanky 6'8" when he's out there throwing. So, you know, he looks a little better than they thought.
And so far, he looks like, I don't know if he's the best quarterback on the field, but he's looked very good, at least relative to the other quarterbacks so far in camp. The other thing, Isaiah Crowell, he is here, finally practicing with the team. And Hugh Jackson, again, lamented like he did over and over again last season that they weren't running the football enough. Sounds like he really wants to get back to Crowell. He's had nothing but high praise for Crowell since he got here last year.
Yeah, you know what? It was very odd that they did get away from the run as much as they did at times last year, even when, you know, they were behind or not that far behind. They could have run the ball more, and he said he's actually beating himself up about that, and that's going to change. Crow almost had 1,000 yards last year, and there were stretches where he did not run the ball hardly at all, so he'll go over 1,000 this year pretty easily.
And Hugh Jackson even dropped a check my film on us today when it was brought up how much he likes to run the football. We'll have full coverage of the day here in Berea at cleveland.com/Browns.